You're watching Personal Finance with Coach Kelvin. Let's get into the video.
Hey guys, Coach Kelvin here. Today I wanted to talk to you about the psychology of investing and why overthinking is going to be very dangerous to your investment strategy. Now, one of the most powerful strategies there are is called dollar cost averaging. Now, what dollar cost averaging is basically a program where you contribute a consistent amount of money at the same time every month, year, or quarter, however frequently it is you wish to make these contributions. Now, you take away any thought process as to what the share price is when you make this purchase. You just make regular and consistent investments. Now, why this dollar cost averaging strategy is so powerful is because it doesn't matter whether the market's high or low. You don't have any sort of prejudice as to when you buy, okay? So you're just going to make sure that every single time that period rolls over, so whether it's every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, you take that same amount of money, you place it into the market or into that fund that you're buying, and you completely ignore what the share price is. Now, what dollar cost averaging allows is for you to be very consistent with your investment strategy, and therefore you can predict your outcome over the long term because you're taking out any behavior that would affect negatively those results or blow them out of proportion. So I want to talk to you about my strategy now, and I have gone over this in a previous video, but here's why my strategy works very well for me. So it doesn't matter whether the market has high prices or low prices. I place in $1,000 every single month, and the share price doesn't really matter. Now, I keep a balance split between 3 main ETFs, and whichever one is underperforming or whichever one is not meeting the general split that I'm aiming to achieve with my portfolio balance, that's where my funds are diverted. So between those 3 investments. Now, every month when I receive my rental income from one of my properties, I divert that straight into my brokerage account and I make that purchase of the ETF that I'm looking to purchase. Now, why I'm placing my dollar cost averaging strategy into broadly diversified index funds is because I take out single sector risk where I'm not reliant on just one part of the economy thriving. It doesn't matter if tech has a crash this week because resources may still be doing well and financials with the banks may still be doing well. Or it doesn't matter if everything crashes except for resources, because no matter what, I'm buying a diverse portfolio of companies within that index, and therefore the volatility of the whole share market is sort of balanced out between those companies. You're not going to have one stock half overnight and destroy your net worth when you have that one stock as a part of 299 other stocks within that index fund. So dollar cost averaging takes out analysis paralysis because it does not matter what the price of the market is at the time. You could be buying in at a high price today, but that could be tomorrow's all-time lows in comparison, okay? So if we look at the annualized returns that we can expect from the stock market being approximately 8% per annum, okay? When we place our money in every single month and we can predict what these returns are going to be like, this gives you an opportunity to then sort of plan forwards as to when you will reach certain dollar milestones. Okay, so if I never ever deviate from this plan and I can expect those sort of consistent 8% returns per annum balanced out, some years I'll get less than 8% return, maybe even a negative return. Some years I may even return more than 8%. But over the long term, let's just say that is what it balances out to be. So if I place $1,000 in the market every single month, this is going to give me $12,000 invested every single year. Now, assuming those 8% returns, by the time I reach 26 years of investing, I'm going to have $1 million in the share market, okay? Now, obviously, this is assuming that you never sell down your portfolio, you never take your dividends and then spend them, you just keep reinvesting. So provided I keep this behavior up and I stick to my absolute minimum of $1,000 invested every single month, I will have in my net worth of my portfolio it will surpass $1 million after 26 years of following this strategy of investing. Now, by the time I hit that 25th year, the interest I earn on that portfolio is going to be around $60,000, okay? Based on those returns that I'm projecting of 8%. Now, of course, that could be different. It could be lower, it could be higher. That doesn't matter to me. But if I'm trying to then predict how much income that portfolio can generate on a $1 million portfolio, assuming 8% returns, that's going to give you approximately $80,000 per year. Now, obviously, if we're looking at a 4% drawdown rate to that, that's giving us an income that we could live on of $40,000 per year, while the portfolio potentially can still grow. And following this 25% rule, you won't run out of money forever based on the worst possible periods of time within the share market. Okay? So dollar cost averaging is extremely powerful because it takes out all the hesitation that you may have in investing your money into the market, because it's so easy as humans to overthink what we're going to do. We naturally want to recruit our survival instincts to stop ourselves becoming the prey. We want to be the predator. And in this case, if you want to chase down and hunt those gains, you need to keep investing your money, okay? So figure out a strategy that you can handle and maintain, and then pursue it ruthlessly. If you can only start with $100 a week or a month, that's okay, but get started. Once you have that first $500 put into the market, you're then able to start building up on that over time. Now, obviously, when you're investing small amounts, brokerage costs can eat up some of those gains. So saving up for a longer period before you make that investment is going to be more powerful for you than simply until you've got $100 and then putting that in, because a $10 brokerage on $100 is a 10% fee. Now that is appalling. But if you can wait until you have $1,000 saved up, that $10 brokerage is only 1%. So this is where it becomes a lot more powerful, okay? Now, following a strong, well thought out and consistent dollar cost averaging strategy, you're going to, over the long term, average out to spending less on what the share price is at current times, okay? So, if we do this for 30 years, your average buy-in price will be less than what the buy-in price or the purchase price of those shares are at that market time. So that's going to allow you to see that you have made gains. If your average price on a share was $40 and it's now at $65, you've improved over 50%, and you'll be able to see that. So I want to encourage you guys to figure out a strategy that you're comfortable doing. Think of it as a percentage of your pay. So as you start to perhaps earn more money, or you come across a cash windfall, or you do overtime and increase your income 1 week, take that same percentage, not that same dollar amount, so that your investment amount of that month or that quarter or that year is higher. So let's try and keep these figures extremely simple. If I was earning $50,000 a year, okay, and I wanted to invest 10% every year, okay, that's going to give me approximately $5,000. Now I'm going to divide that up across the entire year. So that's going to be just shy of $100 a week, okay, that I'm planning to invest. So that 10% of my $50,000 income at $5,000 being the 10%, when I invest that, okay, I want to do this in regular intervals. So I might look at doing $2,500 every 6 months to keep the brokerage costs low. I'll look at doing this at the same time every year. So this might be December and June, okay? So no matter what, when I reach that period of time, I take that $2,500, I invest it, and I'm done. I don't have to think about it. Doesn't matter where the market is. Next 6 months, I do the same, and I keep doing this forever. Now, if 1 year I do a little bit of extra overtime, or I get a bonus from my boss, and that $50,000 becomes $55,000, phenomenal. Then that year, you can actually contribute $5,500 to your investments instead of just that flat $5,000 that you had originally planned. Whereas if you had only planned to do $5,000, getting that cash windfall, you're not likely to increase your investment amount, but you may have gone and spent that on a holiday or something where the money is unproductively used. So let's say over a 5-10 year period, your income doubles to $100,000. You're no longer only investing $5,000 if you have that goal of 10%. You're now investing $10,000 per year. increasing that contribution to about $200 per week. Now, obviously, because we're now going to speed up how fast we save that money, you might want to increase your investing intervals to every 3 months or something along those lines. But the main thing is here, as you begin to earn more money, try and keep that same percentage that you have made a personal contract with yourself, keep that same percentage invested every single time. So for myself, the little false contract I've written to myself where I will never deviate from, I make sure that every single month I invest $1,000. Often I can put slightly more than that in, especially if I've had a really good month of work, a really good amount of rent from my property, or a tenant's overpaid for that month or something like this. This allows me to contribute more. Therefore, getting more money into the market earlier, earning a return, it's going to compound faster than if I stuck to my minimum. So any extra money that I am willing and comfortable to contribute, I will. This takes out that hesitation because, okay, my month has ended, it is now my time to put it in. It doesn't matter if the market is expensive, it just means for that $1,000 for that month, I buy slightly less shares. If the market is cheap, I'll get slightly more shares. So regardless of where the share price is, it fluctuates over time. As long as you keep placing money in, earning a return and reinvesting, you're going to, at an exponential rate, grow how fast your portfolio can increase in value. All right, guys, I hope now you can see how powerful dollar cost averaging is, especially for passive investing. Now, this strategy may not work as well when you want to do active investing, as you do need to be a little more conscious of the share price when you're purchasing individual companies. But if you're happy to stay broadly diversified, chasing the market returns, and you want to grow your wealth fast, it's a lot easier to take the returns of the market than it is to try and beat the market, because by being more active in your investment strategy, you're going to pay higher costs. You have to watch your stocks on your phone or your computer a lot more, and it makes it extremely difficult to predict future cash flows and income and net worth. Guys, thank you for watching today. If you got any value out of this video, please like, leave a comment and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.